Hello everybody, we are the Geeks and Degenerates. I am Enzo, this is my forever co-host Jump. Today we pretty much talk about the second half of Invincible Season 2, which premiered in March with no fanfare whatsoever, so I was like, what do you mean the second half's on? Shit.
Yeah,
Uh,
I was even shocked when he said, "I was like, oh, it's already here." I'm like, when?
right?
Like they never gave us like a date. They were like, oh, it's coming.
Yeah. They did give us a day, but like, again, there's no promotion, so I was like, huh?
Oh yeah.
But yeah, to be fair, this season, the second half was season 2. To its credit, doesn't slow down. It pretty much ramps stakes up, and you're like, I thought we were gonna chill for a bit, but I guess not. Starting with the
No,
Guardians getting totally fucked by both the Lizard League and the aliens, the Martian aliens.
the sequids, the
Yeah,
sequids. Yeah, dude. Uh, as soon as we finished with like the situation with like Mark's dad getting like abducted,
yeah,
uh, the Viltrumites like pretty much killing a lot of these bug people. I don't know if that's a derogatory term. Uh,
for them, I don't know.
but yeah, like Mark stays on that planet for like 2 months, and I was like, wait a minute, don't you have college?
Right?
What? Well, like, don't you got other responsibilities? Like, you can't go home. But of course he couldn't. He had to help like rebuild, and um, Nolan's like bug wife is like already going because I guess she's lived like a full life
Yeah,
within those 2 months. I was like, all right. And he has to bring his little brother back with him to Earth
yeah.
because no one else is gonna take care of him. Because as soon as he's an adult, pretty much everyone that he knows is already gone.
Unfortunately, so Debbie has to take care of Nolan's other son, while Mark has to refigure his life, especially with um, his girlfriend, and of course with
Mm.
his life with Cecil and the Guardians. Like once the emergency call comes up, that they have to get rid of the Sequids, like the rest of the Guardians stay, and you're like, are you kidding me? They're going to take on the Lizard League, Rexplode, Shrinking Ray, and Duplicate. You're like, that's just easy. Like, it's
Yeah,
kind of unfair at first, and then you see how tough the Lizard League is, and you're like, wow, I've underestimated this whole league.
yeah, same here. Like, uh, same with Rexplode. I was like, oh, it's just easy breezy.
Yeah,
You know, they're gonna be fine. It's just oh my god, it was like people are dying.
right?
Uh, well, spoiler alert, we find out that like you're fine, but like at the same time, at a great cost.
Yeah,
You know, like Duplicate gets like smashed, like not in the good way, not in the immortal way. Like she gets like absolutely destroyed,
yeah,
and she's not fast enough to like duplicate another copy of her to escape.
yeah,
And Shrink Ray, or whatever her name was, tries to. They all kind of gave us the answer of like what would happen if Ant-Man went inside Thanos and like just grew.
mm-hmm.
Um, we have an answer, and it is not nice, and you just gotta watch it. Yeah, I was like, fuck. And like, I was pretty much Rexplode in that situation. I was like, what now? Like, how the hell are we gonna win this? But you see him like win through it through desperation
Yeah,
until like the main guy comes in and just like shoots him in the head,
yeah,
like like the most sleaziest way, kind of like kick him while he's down, kind of deal.
yeah. Somehow he survives that, and for a while I was like, I didn't know Rexplode was Wolverine. Apparently not, but he is
Yeah,
conscious enough to kill Lizard King and just falls back on his head, and you're like, that probably wasn't a good move. Well, he couldn't help it. Oh well.
yeah, like you do like know that like it hit like a certain nerve in his head, and we're just like, shut up! Like he's like punching Lizard King to death.
Yeah, so It's just one of those rare circumstances where getting shot in the head isn't instantly fatal. You're like, I've heard it happens, but poor guy.
Yeah.
For like
I
Rex
guess it wasn't-
Lode has growth this second half, and you're like, huh? I just thought you were a douchebag.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Like even before like the mission, he kind of like went up to Adam Eve
Yeah,
to like kind of give her comfort because he knows the situation. But at the same time, yes, he had a ulterior motive of like, we need you for this mission because there's these things that are like mind controlling people and it's on its way to Earth.
yeah, and like find out it's obviously the Martians' fault, and you're like, oh, I wonder what the consequences will be when I get back to Earth.
Yeah.
But I said that mission, like the whole sequence where you're really like, the Invincible series as a whole is very different from other comic books because you see, after that mission, when Immortal finds out that Kate is dead, he just falls apart at the seams. You feel like any other comic book movie or show, he would just carry on, but he just tells
Yeah.
Cecil like, I can't do this no more. I don't like the fact that you're telling me to take a vacation, but at the same time, I was already a damaged man, and Kate's death just was the final nail in the coffin. You're like, oh fuck, poor guy.
Yeah.
Shit.
I don't blame him. Like, yeah, like they brought him back to life. They pretty much stitched him up together. And speaking of bringing back people from the dead, we also get this whole sequence with what's his name, Donald.
Yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
I love this. I really do. Like he's just so conflicted. Like he finds out he's part cyborg
Yeah.
or like 98% cyborg, and he's like he's resentful to Cecil when he was clearly, you know, like dedicated to him and loyal to him the entire season 1.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's like piecing together what the hell happened to him. And like when he does, like Cecil just confronts him and he's like, alright, you told me not to do this, but I have to do it because it kind of gives him a peace of mind
Yeah.
and shows him that Donald has died like 39 times already. They have rebuilt him. They have built him from like the ground up, and Donald has like died in so many ways. There was like the amount of PTSD that you will have, you would just not handle it, and you requested me, Cecil, to wipe your memory because you want to do your job.
Yeah. You're like, well, that's well, no pun intended. That's traumatic to learn that I've
Yeah.
died. What was it, 38 times, and I've asked my mind to be wiped all those times, and at this point you're like, what am I really? Am I still human? And with that knowledge, he's able to help the friend of Mark who died last season, the college buddy who was turned to some cyborg because of, I think it was Ezra Miller who used to voice him. Well, of course, Ezra
Yeah.
Miller is bad news now, so another guy voices that guy now. But yeah, he tells the guy like, look, I know what you're going through. I know what it's like to be not completely human, and he talks him off, make him a big mistake, and you're like, all right, at least he has knowledge to share. But yeah, Mark also tries to find time with Amber because again he was in space. He's in space a lot of times, and he and Amber
Yeah.
kind of balance it out. Like they even go to Comic-Con together, and I love the clip you.
I
Certainly.
love this episode. Yeah, where he just like he talks to this guy and he's like, "Oh, when's season 2 come out?" And he pretty much answers our questions of like, "When's the next part of season 2 coming out?" And he's like, "Oh, sometimes us animators don't really have the budget, so we gotta cut corners. Like we have to cover a character's mouth while he's talking,
Yeah.
or pan to a wide shot where it looks like everybody's moving, but clearly it's just a still image."
Yeah,
And I was like, "This is. Are they breaking the fourth wall here?" I was like, "What's going on?"
yeah. Speaking of comic books, Mark discovers how to defeat the Viltrumites to his dad's comics because Alan comes back to life, discovers that Optimus Prime is actually a Viltrumite too. And he's working
Yeah.
undercover. He's like a
I know.
double
I
agent.
kind of called it. Yeah, because I was wondering. I was like, "Oh shit! So Optimus Prime is bad."
Yeah,
Well, like from last season, I was like, "Then what's the point?"
right.
And then you find out like Oh, he actually turned off his life support, not because he's a bad guy. It's because this is the way that I forgot what you call it, species. Seth Rogen, Seth Rogen's character Alan gets stronger. Is that it's fighting for its life, and yeah, he gets like roided up. I wish I could do that. You know,
Have a
it's
near-death
like,
experience and come back stronger than ever? Sure, why not?
yeah, and you're just jacked. You know, like you just sleep, but like just take you off life support. I wish that was the case, but of course it was a gamble. Yeah, but yeah, he. How cool is that? Like, we have Optimus Prime, or the voice actor of Optimus Prime, just like being a Viltrumite was the only Viltrumite, one of the only Viltrumites that went against, the planet
Yeah.
and its own ways. Now they're like forming a league of people who can defeat them, and the fact that Nolan wrote down his experience. This is not like fiction. Of course, he changed some names.
Yeah.
But these are things that he has experienced, and was like, these are the things that could kill us.
Yeah.
Here is your answers. I'm like, holy shit, that's so good. What the fuck?
Right? And then Alan goes off to try to find more answers to help them win this war, because Mark's still like, I don't know what to do, but if you call upon me, I will join you guys. But Mark and Mark and Amber do find time, and it's a nice quiet moment. You're like, at last they finally find some peace, and then you just hear Mark Grayson, Invincible. You're just like, oh fuck, is it happening already?
Like, ah, damn it! And then like she has her hand on her neck. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, and that's where you get introduced to Anissa, who's voiced by Chantal Van Santen, who is the wife of Butcher and the boys.
Yeah. Oh, that was her. Yeah, that's why she sounded familiar.
And Anissa is...
Also,
I don't know if you noticed, but Anissa is one of the most... Not the most hated character in the Invincible comics.
I know the story. I saw it in like a YouTube short, and I was like... When I saw it, I was like, are we gonna see it here?
Yeah, when it goes down, I was like, I really hope it doesn't happen right now.
Yeah. And yeah, she's clearly strong, and she's very fast, and I'm like... And yeah, Marcus really out of it. I love this. You know, I love it that human race just can't handle a Viltrumite.
Yeah.
You could tell that even Cecil was just like, hold on, give us a second, just keep her busy. Because we're trying to find as much solutions as fast as possible.
Yeah. I love how she kills the kaiju.
Yeah.
Just like, you're like, holy fuck.
She just like flies through it, and I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And Marcus, I get it, but he's stubborn.
Yeah.
Like Cecil just telling him, was like, just say yes. There's our only chance of buying time.
Yeah.
You don't need to do what she wants to do. Just don't say. Just say yes. And Marcus is like, nah, because I don't want to be like my dad, and he's gone through so much already.
Yeah. And then obviously she's stronger, and there's some horrific foreshadowing in this entire episode, where you like see, she makes a crater with Mark's body, and you're like, at that point, since I know what might happen, I was like, please don't. Oh god.
I was like, not here.
Not now.
Like,
not ever.
Just not here. Yeah, please. I don't know if they're gonna show it.
Knowing
it's Invincible that like have they not skipped a beat when it came to like showing material?
I mean, just judging from the first book, they did show the carnage of Omni-Man killing the Guardians and beating the shit out of Mark, so at this point there's no reason to think that they won't show it. But at the same time, I'm like, oh god, please, I don't wanna think about that right now.
Yeah, and like I don't know if we should tell the viewers about it.
No, if the viewers know, they know. If they don't know, you should just know it's pretty bad. But she does hint of someone worse coming, and I think that character is like the Thanos of the Viltrumite Empire. So they're like, oh like, shit.
And not gonna lie, I keep saying like the Viltrumite with a mustache. The Viltrumite with a mustache. I'm like, I kind of have to stop and just like accept that every Viltrumite has a mustache except for the women Viltrumites.
Right. I do love that scene when General Craig is just beating the shit out of Omni-Man, and then the guards try to pick him up. He's like, "Wait, I just want to stand," and he just flexes his back, and you're like, "Oh fuck, this is the real deal."
Yeah, like I do love it that Omni-Man is just he's in defeat. He's in mourning for the current planet, and clearly he has regret. But you could tell that like he could still go toe to toe with any of these Viltrumites.
Yeah.
And he just shows weakness because I don't know what his plan is, but like and he runs into Alan as well. They're like, "We need you. Like, we want you in our team."
Yeah. Going to Mark for a bit. He and Amber decide to end things relationship-wise because that is obviously the wisest thing to do. Because you're like, you're in constant danger of having your damn head ripped off, if not being shot, then being mutilated by a Viltrumite.
And like I do love how real this is, and not gonna lie, having a partner, and as much as I would like to have superpowers, I'm like, my God, this is the epitome of like, with great power comes with great responsibility.
Did you just can't find the time or means to protect someone if you're a superhero?
Yeah, like, dude, you know how, and I'm like, I guess I kind of, it hit me a little too personally where I'm like, like, me busy with work and just like, friends, relationship, and work, like, spreads you out very thin.
Yeah.
And like, I kind of felt Mark a little bit, with that, minus, the bloodshed. And I was like, it do be like that sometimes. And this one is just like, it pushes him over the edge because somebody's actually willing to kill the person he loves. And clearly, she does not want any part of that.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah, I can't blame you.
Yeah, because I guess it worked with Mark and his mom, Mark's dad and his mom.
Yeah.
Nolan worked it out because he's Omni-Man. Like, he could just like wipe a problem away.
Yeah.
While Mark has morals, holds back, and does not kill.
Yeah. And like, you're like, at this point, you're like, this is the second to last episode. How more intense can this get? And then you get your answer with the returning Angshan Levi, who sends Mark. He has his brother and mom hostage and sends Mark to multiple dimensions. And you're like, fuck, another multiverse. When will this stop? No, but this is cool. Because he sends them to different ones. Like, there's even cameos from something, what's the actor's name for Mark again?
Stephen Young?
Yeah, sends them to The Walking Dead, and you're like, oh yes, you are really.
Oh, okay, for me, I was like, oh, it's just a random zombie universe. But like, that's a good one.
Yeah, I was like, alright, Robert Kirkman did do The Walking Dead. Sends him to like the Mad Max universe, some weird universe with dinosaurs, and of course, a universe with Spidey, and you're like, what the fuck?
Right? I was like, not gonna lie, you'll be great help here in the, in the Invincible universe. Yeah. I don't know if he's able to like take on a Viltrumite, but like,
I wouldn't know too. But like, I love the fact that he's like, man, I saw the portal. There's been a lot of that lately, and I was like, do you mean what I think you mean?
Yeah. He's like, he's been through that shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then he like meets Batman too.
Yeah.
Like we just see the cape, but I'm like, we all know who it is.
Yeah.
And he's like, really? You dress up as a bat? And your name is, well, don't you think that's lazy?
Yeah. You also find out that Angshan Levi has been through his own traumatic shit when Mark's like, you helped me escape my own death, and he's like, that can't be, because that just invalidates everything he's been through with Invincible. Angshan Levi has been through traumatic shit with Invincible. You see like the multiple evil incarnations of Invincible, and you're in your mind, you're like, is this the only universe where Invincible is a good guy?
Yeah, like, is Mark an asshole in every universe? And Angshan Levi has experienced a good chunk of that, and all that trauma just culminated into one. So I don't blame him, but at the same time, I I felt Mark when like he hurt his mom,
Yeah.
and like he like hurt his brother, and
Yeah.
Mark was just like so done with it.
Yeah.
And until he got to a point where he outsmarted him, where he was in the Mad Max universe,
Yeah.
and he actually Levi, whatever, like, where the hell's Mark? Like, he peeks his head into the portal, and then Mark catches him.
Yeah. Like that
And then-
scene in Man of Steel where he's like, "You think you can threaten my brother?" This is like that times two. You're like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah, this was so, not gonna like, cathartic,
Yeah.
but at the same time, like, it's such a earth-shattering character development moment.
Yeah. Like
Um,
when he kills
yeah.
Angstrom Levi, you're like, "I've seen this before in the end of season 1. Holy fuck."
Yeah. Oh, by the way, like, I get it. Like, if you saw the mom, like, her arms, like, almost coming off her, her hands almost coming off her forearm,
Yeah.
and she's all beaten up, and I'm like, if I ever saw my mom, like, in that state because of a certain person, I'm like, oh yeah, he's dying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that person is dead. I am going to jail
Yeah.
for, just for the situation. And, like, you see Mark just, like, sends him into multiple universes, and he beats the ever-living daylight out of him.
Yeah.
And I was like doing a whole Kylo Ren thing. I was like, Mark, you know.
Yeah.
And then he's just like, and I love the title of the episode, and because it has so much meaning to it. Yeah, he could be like, yeah, I thought you were stronger, so I didn't hold back. But it's more of like a message to Mark where he was like, I thought I could keep up this whole I can't I don't kill.
I don't kill. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was more of like to him rather than Angstrom Levi, where he pretty much just full on regret, full of blood, and he's like bargaining with himself.
It's like
He's,
it was in
going
self-defense. He was gonna kill my mom and brother. He left
Yeah.
me no choice, and he's just bargaining with himself. And you're like, fuck. Yeah.
through- He's like, you said you were stronger.
Yeah. And then he belatedly realizes, like, oh shit, killed the only guy who can take me home. Fuck. What the fuck
Yeah.
do I do now? Shit.
Yeah, and we get like the with the Guardians
Yeah.
from another dimension who actually help him out, and it was like, hey, you've been gone for 20 years. We can, like, you know, help you go back.
Yeah. Because
And
our
I don't-
future is bad without
Yeah.
you.
And like it's so messed up because I was like, what's happening? And like robot is explode now, and I'm like, I don't get it.
Yeah. And you're like, since this is like 20 years into the future and Monster Girl's still Monster Girl, you're like, is she fully Benjamin Button now? What's happening?
Yeah,
here?
is she like a baby?
Yeah.
And I'm guessing maybe something happened to what's his name again?
Oh, Robot's true form? Yeah. That guy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was like something happened to him.
Yeah. Then Mark gets sent back to the present and he just has to deal with his first kill. And Cecil's like, look, man, whenever the good guys are alive and the bad guys are dead, it's a win for
It's a good
us.
day.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Mark's like, in his
You weren't
defense,
there.
yeah, you weren't there.
And I was like, I love that. I really do love that. You weren't there.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter if like I was a good guy and he was a bad guy.
Yeah.
Something came out of him that he does not ever want to see again.
Yeah.
But of course, knowing where this show is leading to, I'm guessing Mark has to rip some heads,
Yeah.
punch some holes into people now, or some Viltrumites.
Because he's trying so hard not to be his dad, but like situations keep leading him to do the unthinkable, and he's like, fuck. I love that scene when he's just flying, he's just reliving events of his life, like him, his dad, events of season 2, and he's just like, I'm trying so hard not to be him, but everything keeps pulling me in that direction. You're like, oh shit. Like everybody at the end, I think it's a reoccurring theme of Invincible at the end of each season where all the characters are just like, fuck.
Yeah, everybody's just like, Oh, okay. The season was too much.
Yeah.
Just like
Im-
I need to take a break.
Kate's still alive, and she just reunites with Immortal. She's like, I'm so sorry. I'm so tired of dying. And he's like, it's fine. Everything's fine. And you're like, oh, I really hope season 3 goes better for them. Otherwise, I'll be
Yeah.
super sad. What else happened? Like, there's this weird side plot of like Egypt, some weird Egyptian god, also voiced by Clancy Brown. He's like, "Are you the man to fuel me?" And the archaeologists are like, "That's sexist. Strong with women." Like,
Yeah.
he said it, and in my mind, I went, "That's sexist," and then the character went, "That's sexist." It's like, oh, okay. And then we have a moment when Alan and Omni-Man, where you think Omni-Man's just resigned to his fate, and he's like, yeah, I'm just ready to give up because I deserve that, but at the same time, I miss my wife, and you're like, huh? And then credits, and you're like, wait, what?
Yeah. Wait, what else? Was that like the post-credit scene already? Like,
Yeah.
you know how they show the credits and then they show another scene?
Oh, yeah. And then we forgot to mention that future Eve tells Mark, like, you gotta tell her how you feel, or at least tell her something. And then present day, he just can't do it, obviously, because everything he's been through. And you're like, sure.
Yeah.
Take your time, Mark.
And I would say it's kind of like untasteful, if it's like, oh, I just broke up with Amber, and I'm immediately like, hey, your future you told me to say this, I like you, like
Yeah.
it'll be. I feel like give it time, let him like grieve through his breakup, and like you sure go nuts with like Adam Eve.
Yeah. That, and he committed his first kill, and he's just going through heavy stuff, so it'd be out of character for him to be like, I guess it's time to shoot my shot. You'd be like, what?
Yeah,
You're going through traumatic shit, though.
yeah, and yeah, I just can't wait. When's like the next part gonna come out?
Got no idea. Hopefully it's not as long as this season.
Yeah, because I was like, I was legit hooked. Like as soon as I watched the first episode, I immediately needed to watch the second episode, and that's what I did pretty much the entire day yesterday. I was just watching and going through it, and I was just like, I love this show so much. Sure, there's a bit of gore. I kind of got used to it, but like, the story is so fucking good.
Yeah. I mean, we're not done with gory superhero shows, just The Boys is coming out in June.
Yeah.
So there's that. But my god, this season didn't slow down in the second act, and I'm really surprised by that. But yeah, since we're at the end for the second half of Invincible Season 2, what would you rate Invincible Season 2 as a whole?
Is this the done?
Yeah,
It doesn't feel done.
No, this is the end of Season 2. So we'll wait a while for Season 3.
God damn it. Alright. I'm gonna give season 2 a solid 9 out of 10. Like, it is a really good season, and it's good. It's a really good, like, follow up to last season.
Yeah.
And like, if you watch it consecutively, I feel like you would enjoy it a little bit more. Now I'm a little bit pissed off that like, oh fuck, the season's done. I want more shit. I want to see Viltrumite versus Viltrumite. I want to see what like things resolved.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of this hits on like very grounded and realistic point of views when it comes to being a superhero.
Yeah.
And I love it. And I love the little cameos, a little bit of teasers when it came to like different dimensions. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a fan of like drama when it comes to like superhero movies or any other media that like doesn't really surround itself around the concept of romance.
Yeah.
But here it does it so well, and it's so real. Where I'm like, oh shit, like this is like I don't want to ever be in that situation.
Yeah.
Kind of deal. And I'm like, the writers are doing a really good job at it. And yeah, I just enjoyed this entire season so fucking much. And like Ben Schwartz, by the way, I forgot to mention him. He's doing a great fucking job being a comedic relief.
Yeah. Yeah, that's also the setup for season 3 because the astronaut has one last sequid in him, and you're like,
yeah,
and he's on Earth, and you're like, what the fuck does that mean now?
Yeah, and I'm like, I felt so bad because like this guy never can never get a break.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, the poor guy. And yeah, I can't wait for like Omni. By the way, I called it. We only get like maybe 2 episodes of like Omni-Man being a complete badass, and the rest of the seasons focus on something else.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to see Alan, Optimus Prime. Sorry, I keep forgetting his name. The character, I mean. Omni-Man, Alan, Optimus Prime, and like all of the other reinforcements that they need to fight off the Viltrumites. Because it just seems like with every universe that Answer and Levi showed them, it's just not a good future.
Right. Especially with Mark. You've seen that Mark can easily decapitate someone. You're like, that's not good. Holy fuck. Yeah, I'll also give this season a 9. It's a very good follow-up. Like, the animation is still amazing to see. Like, all the old characters getting either closure or new acts upon them, and you're just like, what the fuck do we do now? And new cast is impressive too, like Thaddeus, that's his name. Peter Cullen as Thaddeus, Seth Rogen coming back as Alan, Clancy Brown as the mummy guy, and General Krieg are all welcome additions, whether they're here for a moment or here to set up something either horrifically bad or something amazingly badass with like people like Anissa, and you're like, I don't want to see what happens in season 3. I really don't.
Yeah.
But like, this really makes me want to be like, you know what, I should really pick up volume 2 of Invincible, the comic, I mean, to read a bit ahead. So I'm like, oh, that's what happens. And I think that's what all comic book properties, like a book, should do. Or a movie based on a book, like say Harry Potter or The Lord of the Rings, where it's supposed to bring you back to the source material. So Invincible does a great job in that. But yeah, I don't know. My question was going to be, do you know any other unknown comics that you would like to see have an animated show in this style?
Constantine?
I would like to see animated Constantine, sure. Why not?
Yeah, like, yeah, I get it that he gets movies, and we get like a TV series, live action TV series, but I just want like a solid, cohesive story. I'm so done with like the multiverse bullshit. Just like give me one solid storyline within this one little universe that does not like, oh, this is the live action version of him and this is the animated version of him. Just give me one, you know, and a solid storyline where we delve into the world of Constantine and how he connects to like the Justice League. And I just want that. I know that we're getting a Hellboy TV series or a movie.
We are? I don't know that because my answer that was going to be my answer.
Yeah, because like if I remember correctly, they're making. Oh no, it's a game. They're making a game of like Hellboy, and the art style of Mike Mignola.
Oh.
So yeah, I think that's still a valid, like, you know, like just give us a TV series
For either Hellboy or Constantine. I will go with maybe a new animation of Spawn would be nice. Since we're going with dark, gory characters. Spawn, or I really like to see an animated version of The Last Ronin of TMNT.
Yeah.
To the audience watching, what do you guys suggest? I know Preacher is pretty popular. I have Preacher. Haven't read it yet because I hear it's super dark. And I'm not ready for that. Preacher. What else is there? 100 Bullets. All those indie comics that also deserve the same spotlight that Marvel and DC get. Whatever it is, comment down below. But yeah, that's been our video for the second half of Invincible Season 2. Sorry it took a while. Again, we were so caught off guard with like X-Men and Shogun and Masters of the Air. But by the time this came around, we were like, they didn't say anything. Shit, I guess I have to catch up.
Yeah, we just saw it like in our Amazon. We were like, oh, okay, it's on. All right.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was like, we're doing 4 episodes today. Let's go. But yeah, if you like our videos, please leave a like, subscribe, and ding the bell icon to get notified of when we upload next. We're also on Spotify and TikTok to see our best and funniest moments, Spotify to hear us on the go. Individual Zoda's voices on TikTok and Ants Wolf on Letterboxd. Where can they find you?
Oh, you find me at JohnGM _ on Instagram and it's my account.
And until the next one, we'll see you then. Bye, everybody.
Ciao.